Hey guys, for those of you online, just a heads up, we'll be starting at 1:05. So if you need a coffee or anything, feel free to grab that. And then we'll be diving into creating Facebook ads to capture leads directly into Command.
Great.
All right. Hey guys, just a heads up, we'll be starting in 1 minute here, just allowing everyone to get in. And as you guys are waiting for class to start, just to give you an overview of what we'll be doing in today's class. 1 second here, I'm going to put on my mic and then I'll let you know. All right, so to give you a rundown of what we'll be doing in today's class and what you'll get out of today's class. So we are focusing on capturing Facebook and Instagram leads from paid ads. Okay, so this is a paid ads feature. All right, and I'll be telling you the top ads that attract listings. So the top ads that perform the best are generally one, listing ads. Okay, and if you do not have a listing, no worries. I'll show you the top performing ad today as well. If you do not have a listing, would be something like homes under $500,000 in Valentine. So the idea is finding, let's say, whatever area that you want to specialize in. So if that's South Charlotte, if that's Valentine, okay? And what is that price point that homes really fly off the market? And I'll show you how to really analyze that as we go through, but that's the number 2 top performing ad after listings. And that's what we'll set up today is, again, homes for sale in Ballantyne School District under $500,000, right? What's that price point that they want to click and see that exclusive list? So I'll show you the how behind those items. And I'll also be showing you how, this is something I talked about in team meeting. So in the very least, for your listings, this is one of the number 1 things that you can actually get a listing from. Okay, so if you want to jot down this note, something that sets you apart as a KW agent with your technology is that you can look up the referral patterns, right? You can see where the most amount of referrals are coming from into Charlotte. So whether that be from New York, from California, what cities are most people moving from to Charlotte? So when you go on that listing appointment, right, being prepared that you have that knowledge and then can run an ad, a Facebook and Instagram ad to those specific cities, to New York, to New Jersey, right? Whatever those places might be, especially if you're up against like a land deal. These tend to perform really well. Or homes with large amount of land, even an acre, half an acre is a lot of land to someone who lives in New York, right? So being able to run that listing, that ad, and again, that price point, I know I've mentioned it's a paid ad. I'll talk to you about all the strategies, right? You can run a paid ad for $10 for 3 days, right? So we're not talking about a major investment. Recommendation is $35 to $50, but you can start off today with just a $10 ad, okay? And that's what you can tell on your listing appointments. That's what you can tell them you can do for them, okay? So let's dive in. First thing we're going to do is log into Command, okay? So we do all of this through Command, and that's at agent.kw.com. So we're logging into agent.kw.com. And this is where you'll actually run the Facebook and Instagram ad. The user interface back here is very easy to work with. I'll show you all the how. Okay, but what's very cool about running Facebook or Instagram ads through Command is that the leads will come right into Command. Okay, so when we run these ads, those leads are going to come directly into your Command database. Okay, so these contacts will show you any leads that come in. And I'll show you the exact how of all of this as we go through class, but to just give you an idea, of course, just to give you an idea of how you see leads in your account, right? That is from the bell notification on the top right of Command, right? So that bell notification will tell you any leads that come in. The Command app on your phone. If you don't already have the Command app on your phone, right, that's for agents, make sure you download that. That'll send you a notification right on your phone, like a pop-up notification on your phone anytime you get a new lead, okay? If you're concerned that you missed one of those notifications, let me just show you real quick how to pull up all leads that have come into your account, whether that's from a Facebook ad, from kw.com, your website, an open house, okay? So to do that, I am in the contact section of Command. I'm going to show you how you can check any leads in your account. Under filters right here. So contacts in Command and filters. Okay, the filters button right here. That's going to show you leads only on the very top here. Okay, so leads only, and you can click apply on the bottom. Okay, if that's hidden on your screen, you might just have to scroll down. Okay, but again, those steps are, I'm in the contact section of Command. Click on the filters button on the very top, and then select leads only. And then click apply. Okay, and that's going to show you any leads that you have in your account. So this marked as an L right here will tell you if that's a lead that came in. Okay, you can click on the contact to see the lead source. So for example, and again, if you haven't run a Facebook ad, you might not have any leads in here, right? If you haven't done an open house sign-in sheet from Command, you might not have any leads in here, but this is where your leads will come. All right, and you'll see, and once you click on the contact, so you'll click on the lead, I can see the lead source. So I can see where this lead came from. All right, and I'll dive deeper into this as we actually create the Facebook ad. All right, but I just wanted to give you a little starter here, a taste of where you go to find those leads. And again, make sure you download the Command app if you haven't on your phone already. So it just pops up so you can maintain those in real time. Now, what's even cooler about this, okay, and this is what I'm going to show you as well, is when a lead comes in from a Facebook ad or Instagram ad into Command, it can automatically start on a lead follow-up and automatically start to send them emails, right? And it can automatically remind you to call them. So that's what we're going to set up as well. And the benefit of doing Facebook and Instagram ads through Command is then it automates that lead follow-up to convert the Facebook ad lead, okay? So let me show you now. Let's go ahead and dive into how do I launch that ad. The first thing we need to do is make sure that your Facebook account is linked to Command, okay? And just so you know, you do need a Facebook business account in order to run an ad in Command. Actually, I don't have chats. And feel free to drop any questions in the chat if you're online, or you can ask them out loud. No worries. Either way, okay, ask any questions that you have. But what I'm going to show you, again, you have to have a Facebook business page to connect your account to Command, okay? So follow me by clicking on your headshot on the top right of Command and click on Settings. Even if you think your Facebook account is connected, let's do those steps, because when they did update the Facebook ads portion, it unlinked everyone. Seeing your screen. Can anyone else online see my screen? Because it shows I'm sharing it. You might need to click a different view. See if you can click on a different view on your end, Terry, and see if you can switch to view just my screen. And let me know if anyone else online is having trouble seeing my screen.
Everything's fine.
Okay, great. Thank you, guys. Yeah, Terry, you might just need to switch your view. I know like sometimes it'll switch to view everyone instead of just my screen. I forget how to switch that view. But let me know if you have further issues with it. Okay, so again, from your headshot on the top right of Command, Settings, right? It takes you into all the connected apps that are currently linked to Command. Yours will be in a different order, and that's fine, okay? It shows your connected apps up top. Now, there's 2 spots for Facebook. You might have to scroll down past what you're seeing on my screen. I think it's under social. But we want both of them to be linked up ideally. Again, you have to have a business account, business page, Facebook business page for you to connect it here. But there's 2 Facebook options. One's for post scheduling, okay? This one right here would allow you to schedule posts in advance for free to your Facebook account and your Instagram account, okay? That's not what we're doing today, but that's an awesome feature. What we're doing today is actually running a Facebook ad, okay? The difference between these two, when we're just posting things on your Facebook account, only the people who follow you, your friends, they see that. An ad, right? We're paying money so that it specifically gets in front of unmets, people we don't know, we're not friends with on social media, okay? So a Facebook ad that we're going to launch today does not show up on your Facebook page, okay? It doesn't show up on the page itself, it shows up on the side of Facebook, right? So you've probably experienced where you Googled a pair of shoes that you really wanted, went on Facebook, and suddenly, creepily, it's on the side, right, as an ad. Same concept here, okay? So what we're going to do is make sure that your account is linked. So you'll see under the Ads Manager, this orange bar, click on Paid Ad Settings. So it just moved. They just relaunched it, and it did unlink everyone's accounts. Yes?
It's telling me to go back to out of my business page.
Take a look.
Star.
Yes, that's wonderful. Yes, that's good.
Continue. That's not my business page.
It's okay. It's under your personal page. Opt-in. Yeah, I would just do top one, yes. Yeah, so if on this page, guys, if you're not seeing your Facebook account linked.
So do you select all?
Yeah.
Because I have 2 business pages.
Okay, then it would allow you, I think, to run through either. Yeah, I would select all.
Cool.
Yes. So I'll come back. If you are not seeing your Facebook page linked here, okay, like I see mine right here, you can click Add Facebook Page. Okay, and it's going to prompt you to continue with Facebook, and it's going to ask you essentially to sign in, and it does ask you to sign in to your personal account because your business page is linked to your personal account. All right, but essentially you're going to want to click next a bunch, right? I would just recommend leaving it as, you know, whatever it suggests, and click next a bunch. If you guys have any trouble linking your Facebook account, we can help you. If you want to book an appointment with us, we can help you link that up. kwbresources.com, and on the top right it says I need tech help. that you can book an appointment with us and we can help you set up the Facebook business page, link it to command, the whole 9 yards. For today's class, yes, it would be better if you had it linked, but if you don't, you can still participate and learn the how, and then we can help you actually implement it on a one-on-one meeting. Did you get that linked, KK? You go, girl. Okay, so then, now assuming if you're still working on this, that's totally fine. Keep clicking next, continue to get that linked. Right, and that's important. Yeah, it says like, give me all your organs to run Facebook ads. Just kidding. Yeah, the ad terms, you can scroll down and click whatever it wants you to at the bottom, or is at the top.
Accepted
Yeah,
already.
okay, great.
I'm good.
Oh, you already accepted it. Okay, great. Yeah, you'll have to accept the lead ad terms. Every agent has to. And that should link it up for you. Okay. Again, if you're still working on that, that's totally fine. But I'm going to click back to campaigns on the top left. And if you'd like to leave the page that you have open, if you would instead just like to pull up a new tab and go to agent.kw.com to log back into command, that's totally fine too. Either way, okay, depending on where you are in the process. All right, but I'm going to click on back to campaigns on the top left here, so I can take you through this process now that it's linked. So in theory, you'll never have to link it again, right? Now, once it's linked once, you're good. So again, even if you had trouble linking your Facebook account for any reason, there are weird errors that pop up. If you need our help, kwbresources.com, and on the top right, I need tech help, and we'll help you with that on a one-on-one. Okay, so now what we're going to do, and again, if I lost you, feel free to bring up a new tab here and go to agent.kw.com, and we're going to go into the paid ads section. So on the left-hand side toolbar, we want to click on the megaphone icon, because we go here anytime we want to blast information out, right? If you were trying to spread information to your sphere, build trust, this is where we do it, right? This is where we send out emails, postcards, social posts, ads, okay? And that's what we're focusing on today, Instagram and Facebook ad. So from here, again, where I am on the left-hand side is I'm in command in the campaign section, that megaphone. And I'm going to click on, yeah, sorry, no, please. No, it actually typically links automatically through your Facebook account. Actually, no, thank you for bringing that up, KK. I think they split it. No, I'm glad you mentioned that. I think now that you say that, KK, they did split Instagram. So instead, thank you for bringing that up. Let's double check in the settings. So if you click on your name on the top right and click on settings one more time. Through here, no, it's just the post scheduling. So, okay, yeah, this is how it works. For Facebook ads, right? If your Instagram account is linked to Facebook, it'll automatically post to both for ads. For post scheduling, meaning like scheduling posts out in advance that just go to your followers, that's where there is a place in the back end here to link your Instagram separately. But ideally, what you want to do is make sure that your Facebook and Instagram accounts are linked, okay? And that will make sure the ad goes on Facebook and Instagram. Again, if you need help with that, first of all, I would Google it, like how to link my Facebook to my Instagram. That's literally what we would do if you met with us. But right, us Googling something I know can oftentimes be a lot less overwhelming. So just know if that doesn't work for you, meet with us. Let's Google it together. We'll figure out how to link it. If you're running into an error that happens with Facebook, we've seen it a bunch and we can at least put you in the right direction to help get that fixed. Okay. So moral of the story is no, you do not have to link Instagram through here right now for ads, but your Facebook and Instagram account do need to be linked in the Facebook backend.
So it's saying you ask like television APIs requesting access to.
Instagram, that's good. Yeah. API, it means essentially like it's connecting like the back end of Instagram to the back end of command. So that's good. You can go ahead and link Instagram up right here. It just isn't for today's class necessarily, but it is absolutely good for you to do. Thank you for asking that, Kate. Okay. All right, so now let's go ahead and go back to campaigns where we were. So again, that's that megaphone on the left-hand side. And anytime that we click on one of those menu options on the left-hand side of command, so that menu, the next action button is going to be on the top right. So just so you guys get your workflow going, first step is you click on one of these applets on the left-hand side. And then once this loads, you'll see this teal green button on the top right. That's on every page, so that's the next action step to take. Okay, so create campaign on the top right. Okay, and this is where we have our channels that we can spread knowledge about your real estate business, right? The ones that cost are direct mail, but right, you could send a postcard directly to their mailboxes through command. Right? And as I say some of these things, we're focusing on paid ads. If that interests you, if you want to implement that, great, write it down and shoot us an email. I'll put our email in the chat in just a second here. I'll either send you a video on how to do it, or we can meet and I can teach you in person, okay? So we have direct mail, postcards right to their mailbox. Email, that one's free. We like free channels. So email and social posts are free. Okay, paid options are direct mail and paid ads. Typically, it goes like this. It's free if you're getting in front of your sphere. It costs if you're getting in front of unmets. Unmets meaning people that you aren't friends with, people that don't know about you or your business at all. Okay, so that's what we're doing today, the bottom right, paid ads. So paid ads on the bottom right. Okay. So if you'd like to write down the top performing ads, that will kind of matter what you pick next. Okay, I'll show you both. Okay, listing would be one of the top performing ads. Okay, and I'll tell you the exact strategies that make the listing ad perform well. Okay, but the second one, if you don't have a listing, would be, again, something like homes for sale in the Ballantyne School District for $500,000 or under $500,000, okay? So I'm going to show you how to set up that ad and also how to find the answer to that to provide for them, okay? So what's important about what you're seeing here? If I lost anyone, please let me know. I can catch you up to here. All right, what's important here is that we always pick one that has this blue, see these blue tags? That means it includes the Facebook lead form. What that means is when they click on your post, click on the ad, it automatically takes their contact information from their Facebook profile. So it's 9 times out of 10 correct. So a lot of Facebook ads, leads, are not like daffyduck@gmail.com because they don't want to give you their email. No, it actually pulls their correct email address that they have linked to Facebook and their phone number into the lead form. And since it has Facebook's branding, all they have to do is click on next to see the results of your ad. And that's how you capture their information, okay? So the takeaway there is that we want to use one of these blue tags, okay? For this one, I'm going to show you a non-listing. All right, so if you'd like to pick the fourth one over, I'm going to do a non-listing. When I do, and I'll show you the how-to on how to do a listing one after this, but that would be the listing one I would pick, a multi-image carousel. But for this one, I'm picking non-listing. Make sure you pick the one with the blue tag. You good, KK? Okay. Always feel free to let me know if I lose anyone. This is for you guys. Okay. So what I'm looking at here is a few things that I have to put in to set up the ad, okay? So first of all, I can check that my Facebook page is linked and the correct one is being used, right? So if I click that down arrow, I can see that my Facebook page is selected. All right, so scrolling down, we can now put in the targeting, okay? So again, now this is up to you, what you end up doing as far as what your target is. Do you have a certain target area, KK, outside of Ballantyne? Okay. Is there a certain price point that homes fly off the market in that zip code? Or is there like a smaller?
Probably, I mean, there's nothing.
Okay.
There is a little bit, maybe.
Okay. Okay. All right. So I would like everyone, we're going to find out what the best search would be for the area you target. If you want to follow along with me, I'm going to do a Ballantyne targeted one. Now, what is important to do for this is we need another tab to bring up your website. Okay. So if you can pull up a new tab, so leave the campaigns tab, and let's pull up a new tab that goes to your KW website. So it should be something like your first and last name .kw.com. Yeah, it usually matches your KW email as well. Again, this is usually, it doesn't have to, but like if your KW email is your first and last name at kw.com, your website would be your first and last name .kw.com. So where your email address has the @ symbol, right? Your website has a dot between the .kw.com. Okay, so it matches on your business cards. Yeah, go KK. All right, so we're pulling up our website. All right, and this is where we can do a search. So we're going to perform the search that we are putting in this ad. Okay, so in my case, I want to do, let's say, the Ballantyne School District. Okay, so what I'm going to do is type in Ballantyne. Now, there's a couple different ways you can do this. You can do it about a school district. You can do it just a neighborhood, right? But if I type in Ballantyne and click on Ballantyne Elementary School, right? And if you need to scroll, you can, but I think it should be near the top for you guys. So Ballantyne Elementary School is what I clicked on. So it's cool that you can do by school district, especially at this time of the year when people are really trying to move to get into certain schools for their kids. By August, now would be that time to start this move, right? I mean, I did not, but you could, I assume. I mean, yes, you definitely can. Yeah, the neighborhoods specifically pull from next door. So sometimes they're like a little spotty. I do find that so like as far as how the neighborhoods are grouped in here, guys, if you're searching like a certain neighborhood, these neighborhoods pull from next door, meaning like sometimes like Indian Land is like an area that it has grouped, but it sometimes then doesn't break it down by those specific residential neighborhoods in Indian Land. Okay, did that work better for you? Okay, great. So anyway, the moral of that is, you might have to play with what you're searching, right, to get around your target area. But now that I have, let's say, that area, I can now indicate a price point. So this is important and we can play with that, right? Because we don't want it to have too little, right? But let's say the max here. So I clicked on price on the top. Oh, sorry. Oh, no, you're good. This is the old site, that's why, yeah, which is fine. Click on price. So just in case, if you've been with KW for longer than this year, your website might look slightly different. They just upgraded all websites. So if that's the case, the things that you're looking at just might be in a slightly different location. We can always help you upgrade your site. But go ahead and look for that price option. If you have the older site, it just might be on the right-hand side. And I'm going to put in a max of 500,000 to see what that gives me. Bummer. Okay. So now that I put in 500K, I can see that there are 6 results. So there are 6 results under 500K. And I can scroll down, right? Because I could probably even put, I could put under 400 because these are all under 400. Right, but the idea would be play with this price point till you find something that, yields maybe like 6 results at least, right? But you want it to be in wow, I could live in the Ballantyne School District for $400,000. Like that's a wow, right? We're wanting clicks, right? To get this lead, they have to click on the ad, right? So we're trying to think of what's something valuable that they would be okay with giving their contact information for, right? I do everything in my power not to give my contact information out on the internet. You know what's going to happen with that. You're going to get emails that you don't want to unsubscribe to. So in this case, okay, we want to think of something valuable like living in the Ballantyne School District for under 400K. All right, so whatever that is, you can play with that search. Would you like a couple more minutes to play with the search?
No.
Okay. If you need more time online, feel free to let me know. Or if you have questions or suggestions, feel free to drop those in the chat or yell them out. But what we're going to do, oh, yay, please.
I'm sorry. Don't we have to have their permission to advertise their listing, especially when they are not from our office?
No, so this is just marketing a search. So you're marketing
Okay.
all the homes for sale in
Okay.
Ballantyne under 400K. You're not marketing a specific listing, but you're correct. If you were running an ad on a specific listing, you're correct that both it would have to be a KWB listing and you would have to ask that agent's commission to run an ad on a specific listing. So you are correct about that. This gets around it because it's a general search, right? It's all the homes in the Ballantyne School District under 400K.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, no, great question. Thank you for asking. Of course, please feel free to jump in anytime. Your collaboration online is really great to have those kind of conversations. Okay, so now let's implement it. So assuming you have the search that you'd like to utilize, I'm going to take this URL. So this up here, see when I click on the URL bar, it highlights it. If you have a Mac, you'll definitely have to click in the URL bar to see the full thing. Yeah, and does it highlight it for you? Okay, great. So then you can right click on it to copy it. Okay, but it needs to be highlighted specifically. So if you need to double click, whatever it is, one click should do it. And then right click to copy it as long as it's still highlighted. Okay. All right, so now we're switching tabs. Let's leave that open just in case we need to come back. But let's just switch tabs back to the tab that has a KW and it says campaigns. Okay. Now I skip forward a little bit so we could prepare. So if you can scroll down slightly, I need you to find the post lead submission destination. Okay, that sounds very fancy. All that is saying is once that lead gives you their contact information, where do you want to direct them, right? And that answer is to the search that we just performed, right? So you see this right here? Now we need to get rid of that HTTPS, right? Because we already have it in our pasted one. So if you can, highlight or get rid of the HTTPS that's defaults in there. And let's right click to paste it. Okay. And to make sure that you did it right, you can click preview URL. Because right, it would be important that you didn't leave the HTTPS that's there by default, because then it would duplicate it and not work. Did it work? Oh, yeah, how cool are you? Right? All right, so we just did it. That was like a big bulk of the work. So now we just need to target the area and put some words to it, and we did it, okay? So now, and again, if you have questions in the chat or if I lost anyone, please let me know. But again, we're scrolling down to the post lead submission destination. So where do you want them to go once you get their contact info? We want them to go to this link, but we don't want it to have two HTTPSs at the front. So just make sure that. Okay. So now let's scroll to the top and do the rest of it. Okay, not too much more. So first, targeting. Okay, so target, where do you want to target this to? Right, you can do postal codes or city. You can do up to 10 of them. Okay, so for example, I could do zip codes. I could write in cities, right? You'll see once you type it in, it gives you an option. This is also where I'm talking about if you were running a listing, right? I mean, you could do it for this as well, right? I could put in New York. You do have to put a city, and I don't know as many. I will show you after this how to look up the exact referral patterns that I'm talking about to see where the most amount of referrals are being given or most people are moving to Charlotte. Okay, but this is the how. You could add up to 10, right? I could add New York and Marvin all in one ad, which is super cool. But, you know, for now, let's say I want to put this around here. Generally, you want to do that area that you are targeting. So if that's Valentine, if that's 28277, right? We can put those in and you can adjust the targeting radius. So if you want it to be 20 miles from those areas, right? It increases the reach. Okay. Any questions on the targeting section? Okay. So now the next part is we do need a picture with it, okay? Now I'm going to give you two options. One's going to be higher level tech, one's going to be easier, okay? So if you feel comfortable with technology or want to meet with us on how to do it, right, you could screenshot this search right here, okay? So you could screenshot that search and put that as the picture. However, that's a little complicated, okay? So if you want to learn more on that, that's what I do for my clients. You can meet with us. I'll show you the how. It's no problem. However, let's go for easy, okay? Because I have another suggestion that might actually draw in more leads, and that is maybe a beautiful luxury kitchen, right? So it doesn't have to be a picture of the house that's in the search, but if you can go to either Pexels, so P-E-X-E-L-S, Pexels. If you've been to one of my classes, you know that you cannot just Google any image and use it off the internet. One of our agents did that. it was owned by National Geographic, and she got charged $800 by National Geographic and told to take it down. Not like one or the other. She had to do both of those. So don't use just any photos off the internet. Pexels, P-E-X-E-L-S, this is a noteworthy site to put down, allows you to get pictures for free. So if you typed in, let's say, luxury kitchen. Okay, these are all free for you to use, which is really cool. So what you can do is scroll down and find one that maybe speaks to you, right? And that maybe might look like a Ballantine home. You know, maybe don't put some palm trees in the background because we're in Ballantine. So find one that might have the potential of being in a Ballantine home. And you'll see when you hover over it, it'll give you the option to download it. Okay. It will then prompt you if you want to donate, you can, right? These are artists that put their work online for you to use. So that's quote unquote the catch, is you can donate. However, you don't have to do anything. I usually just X out of this page and it already downloaded to my computer. Okay. So it's downloaded in my computer, like in your downloads, it should go automatically. This isn't too big of a picture. All right, so now I'm going to switch back to campaigns to add that in. Okay, so now I'm switching tabs back to the KW one with campaigns. Okay, and I'm going to click select from media library. Okay, so again, what I did is I switched back to the campaigns tab, right? I did make you switch tabs. I don't want to lose you or anything. So we were on the Pexels tab. We're switching to the KW tab that says campaigns, okay? And we need to pick a picture that entices them to click on it, okay? So let's click select from media library under media type. And we're going to click add new media. Now click upload from my device, or you can drag and drop it in, whatever you feel comfortable with. Okay. It'll search your computer, right? So you would want to go to like your downloads because that's where Pexels would have put the picture in theory, right? In your downloads folder on your computer. So now when you come back to add the media, right, we want to upload it from the downloads folder. And I can always show you that again. But once I click confirm and close, now I have that picture there. Okay. Would you like to see that again?
I know how to do ads, but I've never done it.
Cool. I am very proud, KK. Yeah, if anyone online needs to see that again, please just let me know. I'm happy to show you. But now, whoops, did I unclick that maybe? Sorry, hang on, one sec. Oh, I switched to video. No, I meant to. There we go. Okay, so right under it is the text, okay? This text, all right, so what the headline is going to say, so I'm going to put that in first. So I would put something like homes for sale in the Ballantine School District under whatever price point you put. So 400K in my case. So again, this is one of the top performing ads. It's recommended by Keller Williams International. So they did a study on the top performing ads. This was the second one behind listings for engagement. Homes for sale in the blank area under the blank price point where homes would fly off the market, right? It doesn't matter if they're going to pick one of those homes exactly, right? We want to get them to click on it so you get their contact information, okay? So then in the body text, right? So this will go above it, right? We would probably want to put something like, what's a problem that we're trying to solve for them, right? So maybe that's getting into a good school district, right? Want to live in the Ballantine School District?
Market it that way?
What? Which way?
Not staring for schools?
Are you not allowed to say if you want, you're not telling them it's a good one or their demographics, but do they want to live in a certain school district? Because yeah, I mean, it could be the worst, but do you still want to live there, you know? No, yeah, that should be totally fine. Should be totally fine. Of course, that is a great thing to brush up on of what else, if they ask you about it, tell them to go to greatschools.org, right, is where you would tell them to go to look at, where do you tell them to look for more information? All right, but what if it's, okay, and then Union County, just the site for the county schools is what you recommend usually? Greatschools.org is pretty cool. I'll show you that. Don't pull up another tab. I don't want to lose you guys. But if you want to see this real, okay, but it is really cool. I get excited. It just shows all the school ratings and all of it right on the website. And if you email support@Scott-Lorry Marketing and say, hey, can you put a school search on my website? They'll go do that for you. They'll put greatschools.org, embed it in your website. So I'd recommend emailing them that. So again, if you want a school search on your website, email support@ScottLeroyMarketing.com. I'm gonna put this in the chat. Right, there are free tech support, like they're digital only, and ask for a school search on your KW website. They will need your command, login, and password to add that, but then they'll essentially put a map to help people find schools right on your site. Thanks for bringing that up. Okay. All right. If you have questions on that, let me know. Of course, you can phrase this in different ways, right? Oh, 400,000. Right? But this is what's enticing them to click on it. And then we could write something like click below to get the list. Okay, so again, you can see what mine says. Want to live in the Ballantyne School District for under 400,000. Click below to get the list. Right? And so what would happen, right? A lot of agents will try to put like all their contact information, like call me today for this, right? Not needed, right? It works better if you're just focusing on the value that they would get when they click on it, right? Not selling yourself, they want a house here. We're trying to get them to click on it so you capture that lead. If they just see it and keep scrolling, you don't capture the lead information. So how can we get them to click, okay? Let me know if you have questions on the text, all right? And if you could scroll on down to the lead settings. We are on the home stretch here. Lead settings, okay, first of all, it allows you to tag them as something specific when they come in so that you know it's from a Facebook ad, let's say. Now, you can, in theory, add a new tag here. It hasn't been working lately from what I've seen. But if you type in, let's say if you want to create a new tag for it be called Facebook ad, FB ad, right? FB ad lead, right? I have those in here because I had created them before. In theory, you should be able to click create as new tag. I've been getting an error, so let's see. Yeah, same. Bummer. I'll show you how to create the tag separately. However, if instead, in the meantime, we can tag them as, let's see. When you type in lead, does that come up? Or Facebook ad lead? Okay, nice. I like that. So try to use something that you might already have in there. I honestly forget which ones are default. So your system comes with a bunch of them, and then I made a bunch of mine. So, if you want to try to type in Facebook, I didn't think a Facebook one was already in there. Maybe I made that. Or if you just type in, leads or new client, you can select one that you already have. That can be switched. All right, but this is just help you know which contacts come in from that ad just by looking at a simple tag, okay? And this is where it really gets exciting, is then a smart plan can be selected so they automatically get followed up with, okay? Now you should already have smart plans in there because Scott-Lorry Marketing sets that up for you. I might suggest putting in the 8x8. Okay, you might have to scroll down or type in 8x8. You should have that already in there. What that would do is this one does not send them anything unless you have Twilio, which is bulk texting. We can talk about that later. All right, but it would remind you to reach out to them. It would remind you to call them. So it would allow you an 8-week process of reaching out to these Facebook leads, okay? So I would recommend clicking on under smart plans, the 8x8, or it's my 8x8 new contact engagement. It should be named the exact same thing for you If you want to search by that or scroll. Please just let me know if you have any questions. Lastly, it does keep you in compliance on the bottom there. So you don't have to do anything. It just puts the logo and the statement that you have to be in compliance. So you don't have to worry about that. And now we're at the final step of putting in money, making it rain. Okay, let's talk about the strategy of how long and how much. Now, if you are new to ads, okay, I would recommend starting at around $10, right? Now, this is the strategy, so you could definitely go higher than that. But, you know, if you are not, you don't have you're starting a business, I know exactly how the money flow goes at the beginning of launching a business, right? But if you can even swing $10, we could run the ad that you just created today for the next 3 days. It's around a $3.30 minimum per day, okay? However, the recommendation is $35 to $50. So it's $5 to $7 a day for 5 to 7 days. So if you want the optimal strategy for impressions and leads, it would be $5 to $7 a day for 5 to 7 days. Again, if you want to do $10, you do $10, and that's totally fine. That's really great to get you started. All right, but the optimal time frame, right? You can play with this and you can see that the daily spend adjusts with it, okay? The minimum, you'll see if you get too low, it'll yell at you. It's around $3 and something cents. That's the minimum, right? But ideally, if you spend around $4 to $5 each day, you're going to get a lot more impressions and a lot more leads from the campaign, right? Essentially, dollars equals amount of times the ad will be shown. And what's cool, if you do multiple images, which we have time, I'll show you next, it knows when people are clicking and who to show it to based on what they're searching. So if they're searching on Zillow and Google, it shows your ad to those people in the target area you picked, okay? So there is not a...
Like for me, it's 282.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So it not only shows it in those target areas, it's specifically picking all the keywords that if they Google, like go to Zillow or JuLeah or Homes, that's what makes your ad show up for them. Does that make sense?
So when you can target, you can pick your audiences when you do it through Facebook.
This
You can't do that here except for the zip code.
because they actually automated that optimally for real estate agents specifically. So since we all have the same target, right? For Facebook, it's like, okay, well, you could run an ad for anyone. What Keller Williams did is they internalized that feature, put in all the top keywords. There's a list of them on answers.kw.com that if people are searching on Google, what your ad will come up for. They just automated all of that since they knew the exact strategy.
So where I put 28210 and I could put other keywords in?
No, you can't put in any further keywords. The keywords are built in like by Keller Williams International, but they are targeted to specifically only clients that would search those. So you can pick the area, and then what the software does is it automatically shows it to keywords related to real estate. Anyone who Googled a keyword relating to real estate or, you know, in Facebook. Yes. Very creepy on so many levels.
So I have all mine, I have 6 different, I have target audience.
Love that.
So when I run an open house ad,
Uh-huh.
I do a target ad and I can do it by the age group.
Nice.
And like
Yeah.
when I do Eastside, I do South Park, I do the Harris Y.
Gotcha.
All the restaurants around there.
Love that. Yeah, it does not let you do that in command. So if you wanted to do that kind of keyword, then I would recommend.
Anyway, because it's using search engine to drive people that are AI is telling people that are looking for real estate to look at this ad.
Exactly. Right.
So
So I would maybe try it. Right. Right, exactly. I think what you're doing, your tactic is very cool. I think that could definitely work, but since it is doing so much, it would be worth a try to see the difference, right, too. Because then I'll show you how the leads come in. If you would like to see, you'll be able to see the analytics, how many people click and all that fun stuff. But just so you guys know here, unfortunately, there's not a way to save this as a draft. So if you would like to put in your card information, you know, for $10, and you can leave the page up so that you can do it after class if you want to. But even for $10, I would recommend launching it to see what you get, right? See what those leads are and give you practice following up with Facebook leads. So generally for a $50 budget, we see anywhere from, you know, it can be 6 to 18 leads. It tends to vary, right? That's for a listing, at least. So just so you can expect, you know, what number of leads you're getting. It's around, here, I'll show you like some analytics here of other clients we've run ads for to give you an idea of what you're getting. Now, I will say, now, if you want to leave that tab where it is so you can come back to it, you can just watch on my screen if you would like. I'm just going to show you the analytics section so you can see where that sits. Do I know anyone's password? I'm not sure if I do, actually, guys. I might have to send you steps on that. If you do want steps on how to view your analytics, just shoot me an email if you don't mind. contact@juleahdesigns.com. I'll put it in the chat so that I can send you steps on that. I just don't remember the password off the top of my head for my clients. All right, so now instead of that, so once we launch that ad, right, that will make the ad go on the side of people's Facebook and Instagram accounts as a promoted ad, okay? So again, you won't be able to just go to your Instagram or your Facebook account and see the ad, right? That's showing to unmatched people you don't know, not on your feed itself, just so you guys aren't confused, okay? So now when those leads come in, as we discussed, that'll come right into your contact database. Now, before we wrap up class, I do really want to show you how you can do the same concept, but with a listing. So I'm going to tell you more the strategies for this instead of the how-to. I'm going to show you how to look up the referral patterns, okay, to know where to target. And I'm also going to tell you the top tactics to getting people to click on listing ads as well, like what information to withhold so that they do click on it. So it works, okay? So first of all, let's look up referral patterns, all right? So what I'm going to do for that, if you can, I'm in command. So if you want to pull up another tab, because I know we were in the campaign section. So if you're going to launch that after class, I'll stick around and help you if you need to. Go, KK. Yeah.
I'm just gonna see, if I'm gonna run it the other way too.
Okay, I love that. And see which one performs best.
And see if I optimize my target, use my target audience.
I love that. I would love to hear what happens.
Okay, so I'm gonna back up.
Okay, so now, whether you remember the exact how-to of what I'm going to show you, I just want you to remember this for when you go on a listing appointment that you can do this, because I promise this is not in the script of any other listing agent that they're interviewing outside of you. Okay, so what KW's technology can do that no other brokerage can, okay, that might be a stretch, I don't know that for sure. But what I do know is that we are the only company that created our own technology, right? Every other brokerage outsources, right, to other tech companies that own all of their agents' information, all of their clients' information. What Command did is create their own technology, and it all belongs to the agents, right? And it's created by agents for agents, right? So it gives you a leg up with the KW technology because you are the only one that has access to these kinds of levels of technology. All right, so what you can do is look up the exact referral patterns. Who's moving here, right? From where? So referrals on the left-hand side of Command, okay? This is like your, I don't know, kind of like a Facebook section of KW agents and referrals. So if you want to send a referral, right? You could, if you had a referral for someone in Michigan for a certain city, you could find a KW agent in Michigan in that area to get your 25% referral, whatever you agree on. Now, just simply, if you are going on a listing appointment, how you can track referral patterns, maybe you could even do this before your appointment. You can click on Map on the top. So again, I clicked on referrals and then Map. What I need to do is change production to referral patterns. Nice. And then click on Map on the top white toolbar. And then once you click on the map, might ask you to know your location, blah, blah, blah. Say okay. And then click referral, like click the drop down and change it to referral patterns. Mine doesn't know my location, so it defaults me to where KW International is, Texas. That's why it's Texas. So if yours didn't get your location right, all right, this is where it's putting me. Just change it right here. So see the search, that should put your exact location if your browser allows that. If not, just type in Charlotte, North Carolina on the top left here to see that exact referral pattern, right? So how impressive would it even be if you went on that appointment and you told them that right before the appointment, you looked up the exact amount of where the most referrals are coming from. And so you know that you can target their home strategically through ads to Chicago, Philadelphia, and Colorado, marketing their listing. Those are audiences that if they list with anyone else, those people in those areas will never see their listing, right? So that gives you a leg up that you can get their listing in front of audiences that aren't even local, and other agents certainly aren't going to get in front of by just putting their listing in the MLS, right? And that data, just presenting that data, the fact that you're that analytical and that tech savvy to know how to look up referral patterns and launch social media ads to target audiences that are looking at Zillow properties specifically in those cities. I mean, I'm impressed just hearing myself say that, right? So in the very least, if you forget exactly how to do all of that, no worries. You just need to know that you can, so you can come meet with us and we can help you actually launch that. Oh, no, good question. We are in the back end of command. So if you can go into agent.kw.com, so this is the back end, so only you can see this as an agent. So agent.kw.com. And this is where the referral section is on the left-hand side. So if you want to jot down these steps on how to get back to this section, okay? Agent.kw.com, that's command where we log in. The referral icon on the left-hand side. And just a reminder, if you forget what all these icons mean, clicking on the KW logo at the top opens this up, which I love, so I can learn the navigation. So I click on referrals. Next step, click on map on the top white toolbar. Okay, there's one more step that's essential. After map, you have to change this drop down to referral patterns, okay? And actually, sorry, this right here, this will be the one next step that you need to click that I haven't told you about yet. So after referral patterns, you can change it from sent to received, right? So these are the referrals sent away from Charlotte versus the second one is received.
So how do you do that?
Yeah. So where are you now? Your maps?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so from the map section, right? And you have the referral pattern. Okay, yeah, it's just these little icons, like it looks like an arrow coming out of a box, then going into the box. Right next to that referral patterns drop down, these guys over here. So that'll show you referral sent and received. Noting for your knowledge that these are KW referrals only, right? Just so you guys know. I just like to leave that part out of the script for them because it sounds more impressive.
So the top results, they
Yeah, like the amount of referrals that are being sent to Charlotte. The top ones. So then let's say we pick, I usually look at this before I run the ad, and I pick maybe the top 3, right, to run the ad to, right? Because you can pick up to 10 areas to include on the targeting of the ad. So essentially you're marketing the listing and the ad locally and at the same time to Oklahoma, right? Do we feel okay about this? Mm-hmm.
So I want to see who sends out.
You want to see received, yeah, this one.
Okay, that's
Mhm. Yep. So those are the most received, which is interesting that mine's different. Oh, are we not in Charlotte? Oh, you put in Waynesville, or maybe your computer did that.
right. I did.
Okay, gotcha. That's why it's different. That makes sense. So yeah, and if you play with, you know, what you type in, if it's like Matthews, North Carolina, see how that changes. Correct. If you want to actually send a referral, is that what you want to do?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
See, we're gonna rent our house up.
Oh, nice.
I want to see who I would send the list.
Gotcha. In that case, so if you are looking for an actual referral, like someone to recommend or like to find an agent in the area, so I might recommend searching maybe by production. So instead in that drop down, change referral pattern to production, And you will have to zoom in. So I believe it won't show you until you like zoom in to like 50 options. Let's see. So you can click the plus on the bottom left, or probably over here as well. Let's see, zoom in. Oh, okay, or zoom in over here. I believe you just have to keep zooming, and then it will load the list once it gets to 50 agents in that result. It might be loading, like mine's still loading, for example. There we go. Nobody. Weird. Like this is what mine looks like, for example. Like, do you have all these green dots so I can see here that? Yeah, so you can zoom in and pick the area. And then once you click on the number of the agents there, then you'll be able to see their contact information. I can help you more with that, KK. All right, so the last thing I want to leave you guys with is just if you are performing a listing ad, right? Make sure you withhold certain information so they have to click on it, okay? I understand you're trying to promote the listing, but the main thing you should be withholding is the address, okay? So if you are putting in, if you're doing an ad for a listing, first of all, if you just want to outsource it to us, this is something we do for our clients, so you can just email us and we can do it for you. Or, okay, you can make sure when you're doing the listing ad that you generally want to withhold the address. Sometimes you'll want to withhold the price point, right? So if you were at this price, click to see the price, right? You're wanting them to click on it. I've also heard top recommendations of withholding any pictures of either the inside or the outside. So if you only put pictures of the outside, for example, they want to click on it to see the inside, or vice versa. If you only put pictures of the inside, then they'll want to click on it to see the outside. So the three main things to withhold, and you don't have to do, all of them, but in order to get clicks will be the address. And I would actually recommend that. Never, never, ever put the address, like in the text, when we're like putting in where we wrote in like homes for sale in the Ballantyne School District under 400K. I would not ever put the address there. I want them to click to view the details. If you're really trying to drive, like the price is great. If there's a price reduction or anything, I like to write things like get a deal or at this price, ? In the Ballantyne area. Wow, click to view more. Kind of deal, right? So that's clickbait. And then lastly, the tactic would be if you want to withhold any outdoor pictures of the house or indoor, like do one or the other, right? All indoor house pictures or all outside pictures of the house. Yes, I know you're trying to show the listing as much as possible, but more importantly, you're trying to capture the lead. Just so you know what we've seen, when we run listing ads, the leads don't usually walk off Facebook and buy that house. And they also usually take a little more cultivation, okay? Because these people don't know you. So just know when you get those leads, they are generally very real leads, but they are also need more cultivation. So you need to make sure that you have a monthly touch to them, right? Via email, or that you're calling them, right? So just so you know, that does take a little more cultivation, and that will be taken care of from that smart plan that we set up. But look for notifications on your command app. All right, so just one last thing for you guys. If you want a one-on-one on this, if you guys want to do this together, if you ran into any issues, you can go right to kwbresources.com. It says I need tech help on the top right. It's just our Calendly link. We're probably pretty booked up this week. We just got back on vacation, so we're catching up, but should be open next week. And if you have any questions in the meantime, or if I said something in class that you want to know more on, we also have 10-minute videos on pretty much everything I said. So I am putting my email address in the chat. So if I said something about postcards and you would love to do postcards, shoot me an email. We can either do it for you or send you a 10-minute video on how you can do it on your end, or of course, meet with us and we can show you how in person. All right, guys, I hope this helped. And if you have any questions, email me or book an appointment. Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thank you for coming to class, you guys. Hope this helped.
Indeed.
Thanks, Leah. You're awesome as always.
I'm happy to help. Thanks for coming. I see you guys soon in the office. Have a good one,
Great.
guys.
You too. Bye-bye.